Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat and NBA content. My name is Amir. For today's episode, we have Martel back on the channel. So before we get started, make sure to go to Martel's channel, the Miami Heat Zone podcast, and subscribe to his channel. Thanks for hopping on. How are you doing today, Martel?
Let's get it, bro. Let's talk some Miami Heat hoops.
Yes, but first, I do want to talk a little bit about the Milwaukee Bucks because obviously we're on Giannis watch and we all expect Giannis to request a trade. I just don't see a world where Giannis can stay on this Milwaukee Bucks team because they're in cap hell right now because they're paying him and Dame so much money, so they don't really have any cap space. They don't have a tradable first round pick till 2031. They have a bunch of free agents that are aging free agents that they're going to have to let go essentially. So Portis, Lopez, like Gary Trent Jr. is young, but like these are different pieces that even if they re-sign and give a new offer, it's not going to move the needle. And Dame's going to be out for the season next year. And he was an all-star. Like, yes, he's 34, 35, and he's still an all-star averaging 25 points per game, like still pretty damn good. He's just always been hurt at the wrong time. So anyway, the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis are supposed to meet sometime this week to talk about Giannis's future. And an interesting tweet came out about from the Bucks zone, and this was via Sam Amick, who's an NBA insider, saying the Milwaukee Bucks front office wants every scenario to gut the other team in any potential Giannis trade talks. And they are going to go for blood after giving Giannis a new contract extension. And they know that no one wants to come for play for the Milwaukee Bucks, right? So that means any scenario he goes to is not going to be a contender. What did Giannis say, Martel? He wants to play with another all-star that can take the load off of him, right? And he wants to have the ability to win a championship and contend. And so they are doing this in I guess, a smart move that's going to piss Giannis off, saying that if you go to any team, you're not going to be able to win for a few years anyway, so you might as well stay here. So what are your thoughts on all that?
So that's my thing. Like, they're going to play hardball for the most part. It's like what you said. They didn't even know Giannis was going to be this all-time generational champion. They didn't know he was going to be like this. And no one's going to be running to go to Milwaukee to go win a championship. It took, Giannis, Middleton, and them trading for Drew and all that stuff, for that to happen. So I don't understand how they're going to go forward. They're going to probably try to go the Joe Cronin route in terms of they're going to look for the best deal. They're going to, they're not just going to just give him away for nothing. They would rather gut the other team because they know if they can gut the other team, Giannis won't go. Why would Giannis go? Let's just say to the Miami Heat, and the only one that's there is Davion Mitchell. It doesn't make sense because now he's in the same predicament where he was in Milwaukee. So whether or not Giannis wants to be traded or not, it all comes down to the Milwaukee Bucks at the end of the day. Are they going to do right by Giannis? Somewhat, but they're not just going to just sell him off for nothing and just take whatever any team gives them. No, they're going to want to get first round picks. They're going to want young players. And it's like what you said, they don't own any of their picks for a while. They have older young players. I mean, they have a lot of older role players where, teams like the Lakers and all these other competitive teams, they're going to take Bobby Portis. They're going to take Brook Lopez. They're great, solid rotational pieces that Milwaukee can't afford to pay. They got Damian Lillard, $50 million in dead money. So it's going to be very interesting. Giannis is going to have to make up his mind, but the Milwaukee Bucks are going to do what they want to do.
Yeah, but like if you're the Bucks and they're saying this crap potentially as a threat or allegedly to gut the other team, but do you think the Bucks should gut them with all the young up and coming or expiring contracts and rebuild fully versus trying to do what the Mavericks did essentially, which we don't want to talk about that in general because that's a rig trade, but they didn't trade Luka for all their picks and all their young assets. They got another star. And like when Anthony Davis is healthy, he's a superstar. He can average 30 points a game, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks. Like he's a depoy candidate, like top 5 almost every season when healthy. Do you think the Bucks are going to be wanting to rebuild fully if they let go of Giannis, or do you think they actually want like a blend of like you have to give me one All Star, give me two young good players, give me all the picks? Like, what do you think makes more sense for them moving forward?
They're gonna have to do the full rebuild. I know that there was a really good trade idea is they should be trading with the Pelicans only because the Pelicans own all their picks. So if they were to trade with the Pelicans, they would be able to get some of their picks. Do I see Giannis going to New Orleans? I really don't. They'll probably trade Zion and maybe, like a CJ McCollum or a DeJounte Murray to make it work. But once again, I think they're going to have to do a full rebuild. The team's pretty much maxed out. $50 million of dead money in Dame that they can't move. They don't own any of their picks. They're going to need like just serviceable young players, not necessarily all stars or superstars, but they're going to need some good young players to help move their team towards the future.
Yeah, because like the only other way, let's say for some reason they go the Pelicans route, they would need Zion, they would need Dejounte Murray, they would need all the picks. So even with those two, maybe not all the picks. If you're getting Zion and Dejounte, probably three picks, right? And then throw me like whoever like is a good rookie or good or Herb Jones or something. You know what I mean? Like give me you. That's a good route if they want to compete. But do you want to have that roster moving forward just to compete? And I mean competing by being like a 5 seed at max in the East with that team, right? Because you still have Dame the following year. If he comes back, obviously we don't know what's going to happen. He's 35. He's going to miss the entire season. We saw what happened to Clay. Even though Clay had stacked injuries, he had the ACL and the Achilles, but Clay was younger when this happened, right? Clay is technically even younger than Dame is today, right? And this happened years ago. And look at Clay. He's a shell of himself. So assuming, and he relied more on like catch and shoot threes because of Steph Curry, right? He had the gravity of playing with Steph Curry. Like Clay was able to get to the rim, but that's not his game. He wasn't crossing people over. He can get to the rim, but that wasn't his game. He was more of a catch and shoot like 3-point shooter. So I wouldn't go that route. I agree with you. I wouldn't want to go with like the Zion because he's injury prone and he's going to get more money. Like, and it's not going to move the needle. So like for them, I'll be like, give me 5 picks, give me all your young players. But even then, that's still not the best package. They could probably do better. So
But it just
let's see.
depends. You don't necessarily have to say 5 picks. So like let's say just for argument's sake, if you're trading Bam, he's equivalent to that. If you're trading Bam, like if you're trading one of these guys or like okay, like let's say you're trading like a Jalen Brown, he's equivalent to 3 or 4 picks. So that now you don't have to put down like maybe you could put down Jalen Brown and like 3 picks. You don't necessarily have to put down 5 picks. It kind of just depends on what you're trading. But asking for 5 picks to me is ridiculous when you're already getting either multiple high level role players or a star and a role player. Like we have to be kind of reasonable. Like no one's putting up 5 picks for Giannis. I'm sorry, especially and then you're asking for more. I don't know. I just don't see how you're gonna give up like 5 picks. Like let's say like for like the Knicks, what 5 picks? OG Anunoby and then Mikal Bridges. Like no one's doing that. It makes no
Yeah.
sense.
I mean, but if we had 5 picks for the Heat, I'd be like, here, take 5 picks. Take Duncan's expiring. That's 10 million because it's not 19. It's nine. Only 10 is guaranteed or whatever it is. Take on then if you don't want to take Terry's expiring, which I assume they would because they're rebuilding. Take on Terry. That's 35 million. Giannis makes what 50 something. So then throw in all the kids. They don't make much. Jaime makes like 7 or 8. You give them Jaime, then you give them Khalil Ware, then you give them Jovic, and every pick. Let's say we had 4. I would do it to keep a core of Tyler, Bam, and Giannis,
One
but
hundred percent. One
but we
hundred
don't have
percent.
that. That's the problem.
Of
Like
course.
that's what they
If
would
you have
want.
5 or 4 picks, I'm not giving up now multiple guys that are my best players. I can't. That makes no sense. Like I can't give up 4 or 5 first round picks along with all my best players. I'm sorry.
And if this article is real, they're going to come to Miami and say Bam and Tyler. That's it. One pick. Not even. Who
No,
cares
listen.
what picks?
I believe. Listen, I think Sam Amick is 110%. They are. He's right because at the end of the day, it's like Joe Cronin. No one is coming to Milwaukee. No one's coming to Portland. No one's coming to Charlotte. No one's coming to the Wizards. No one's coming to Atlanta. All these bottom teams, nobody's going there. No one's coming to Utah. Why do you think Danny Ainge he stacks up on picks? Because he knows he's not going to get a superstar to say, you know what? Let me go to Utah. Let me go to Portland. Let me go to Charlotte. Nobody wants to go there.
Exactly.
Even Cleveland. Cleveland was really built through the drafts and actually making this swing trade to get Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like these other poverty franchises. All they're worried about is collecting assets because they know it's hard and it's really less than likely that they're gonna get a Jalen Brown to come or one of these great all-star players to come to their franchise. It's easier for them to get high level role players, young and up and coming players to maybe they might hit, maybe they won't, and then along with the draft compensation. But I can't give up four first round picks, five first round picks along with my best players. Even though I know we don't have that as the Miami Heat, but even other teams. Why would they want to gut their team for Giannis? No one's gonna gut their team. The Spurs. I know that he's been linked to the Spurs and the Rockets. You think that the Rockets are gonna gut their team after what? They were second in the West? It's not
Yeah.
feasible.
No
So it's
chance.
either you're going to get the picks or you're going to get a mixture of both. But I can't give you 4 or 5 first round picks and then two of my best players. No, sorry.
Give me the best offer from the Heat today.
Everyone besides Tyler and Bam and all their first round picks. Whoever they want
No.
off the roster.
Click.
Exactly.
Even before this report
Look,
came out, they'd click. Even
the
before
only
they said they would gut it, I'm giving
the only way they listen is if you say Bam.
Bam. They don't give a shit
The
about Tyler
only way
Hero.
they listen to us is if you say Bam, they're picking up the phone and saying, okay, now let's see what we could do.
Yeah, but you say Tyler, they say click. We can find
Yeah.
another white boy who could score 20 freaking points.
Yeah, they
Who could
don't.
shoot threes. Who
That
can't
doesn't
play
help.
defense. You
But
could
I'm gonna
find
tell you
that.
this. But I'm gonna tell you this. Let's say they keep Bam, because we kind of have to look at it both ways. Why would they want to pay Bam $60 million? Why would they want to do that?
That's what I was saying about Zion. The same thing. Why would you want
Yeah,
to
why would they want to pay a guy and he hasn't even hit the extension yet?
like
If you're the Bucks,
exactly?
you want to gut your team. You know what? I'm getting off of everyone. I'm trading Brooke, you're out of here. Bobby, you're out of here. Giannis, you're out of here. And then Dame, whenever you're healthy, you're out of here too. I'm gutting the roster and I'm starting over. We are
Yeah,
now a tanking team.
yeah.
But the only problem is they don't own their picks.
You go
So it's
Thunder.
like
You go Thunder. Like okay, so
collect
then like
assets.
you go Thunder. Be like, all right, Thunder. Let's say Thunder lose for some reason in the finals, which would make them more likely want to pursue Giannis. They could be like, all right, we have 5 first round picks and make the salaries match. Pick 6 guys that, either expiring or like rookie scale contracts that add up to Giannis and take them like that are not named SGA, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein. Take everybody else. They have an A Wiggins. I don't know his name. Not Andrew Wiggins like ours, but they have a Wiggins. Take a Caruso. Take a freaking whoever. Take a Dort. Like that would make sense then, right? Because that way you have a bunch of guys that are like not making a ton of money and they're not great, so you're going to suck. And you have the 5 first round picks. Like something like that would have to happen versus them saying, "Hey, Rockets, to your point earlier, give us the 5 picks plus Jalen Green to make the contracts work, plus Steven Adams, plus Jabari, plus whoever." Like they're gonna be like, no, because these are part of our building blocks. Like we don't want to do that plus the pick. So we'll see what happens. It's gonna be a long off season. There's gonna be a lot of rumors regarding Giannis. I think he's gone for sure. I think he's gonna request a trade soon, perhaps, and maybe before the NBA draft, so that other
It
teams
has
could
to be.
probably.
It has to be. It
Yeah,
has to be because you have all these teams like the Rockets. I believe they have like the number 10 pick. If anyone's gonna make a move, Giannis is gonna be coming out real soon. If he really wants to leave within the next 3 to 4 weeks before the draft, he's gonna say he wants out to give that. Because remember, these negotiations, it's like what you said. It's not gonna be a Luca in the middle of the night trade. No, the Bucks they're gonna want to get everything they can along with somewhat working with Giannis.
right.
Because obviously they're not just gonna like send them to a bottom feeder team to get 10 picks. No.
Nope. We'll see what happens, but very unlikely he comes to the Miami Heat, but we'll see what happens. As long as we get someone that can help us offensively, that's all that matters. So anyway, thanks for hopping on, Martel. Appreciate the time. Don't forget to subscribe to both our channels. Thank you again.